Good morning.
Good morning.
So we go to chapter 23, planning in business. So when you talk about planning, planning simply means you try to put things in order so that you are able to avoid failure. So that's why the saying is, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Most of the time, when we have a proper plan, the result is always going to be positive. The outcome is always going to be positive. And even if there's going to be mistake, it won't be that huge. It will be controllable. So that's why planning is important. So I go further. There's a saying, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Thus, it is important that individuals and firms need to plan towards, okay, there's a point here. Needs to plan towards their objective, as this may bring about positive outcome. So with planning, it is expected that you have a positive outcome. So planning allows the process to be easier. It becomes easier because you already make a plan ahead of it. So with your plan, whatever process you have, it becomes easier because you already know you know the end from the beginning.
Yes.
So you already have a plan. That makes it easier. Less stressful. So because you already have plan in place, so whoever is going to be part of that process will not find difficulty in going through it. Oh, I need A, B, C, and D. These are what I want to do. I know who is going to be in charge of A, who is going to be in charge of B, who is going to be in charge of C or D. So those people are well informed. They know what to do at any point in time. So that will take away stress from them. And the last one, costly mistake will reduce. So if ever there's going to be a mistake, it will be something that can be controllable. So this is what planning will do. It reduces stress, it makes things to become easier, and mistakes might be avoided. Do you have any problem? Do you have any question about planning? No. Good. So for a business itself, even individuals, as we are, we need to make a plan. So how do we want our day to go through? So a plan will put us in the right path. It allows us to know where we are heading to, and what is there that we've not done. Through planning, we get to know. So that's for individuals. And for firms, businesses, they deal with different stakeholders. So if you don't have a proper planning or a proper plan, stakeholders will see them as unserious. You can't come to me to tell me to invest in your business when you don't have a proper plan. So with a business plan, it allows me to know what your objectives are. And as well, if it's convincing, then I can buy into it. Do we get the point or not, please? So planning allows stakeholders to buy into our own idea. Without planning, they find us as unserious. Do you get the point here, please?
Yes.
So what are the items in a business plan? So for a business, the first thing a business needs is the executive summary. And when I talk about executive summary, it's talking about the whole business plan, what the business is trying to achieve, the opportunity there for the business in terms of finance, the know-how, intellectual property, whatever the business wants to achieve over that period of time. It's based on the executive summary. This is what you show your stakeholders. So this allows them to know if you are a serious business or not. Do you get the executive summary here? So I'm going to read it anyway. This is the most crucial part of the business plan, as it is the overview of the whole business in relation to finance, market opportunities, and operations. Whatever the business wants to achieve, it has to be through the executive summary, because the executive summary talks about the owners of the business itself, who are going to be in charge of the business, how the business is going to be managed financially. Because all these things will let us know the kind of business we are dealing with. Without this, if this executive summary is not convincing, you might not have investors. Do you get the point I'm making here? Yeah. You need to get money. Maybe you need to take a loan from the bank. If your executive summary is not convincing, bank managers will not give you a loan. They will consider you as a high risk. And when you are being considered as high risk, it simply means they are scared that you might not be able to pay back the loan because you don't have a proper plan. Do you understand why executive summary is so crucial here? It's so crucial because it talks about the overview of the business itself, what the business wants to achieve, how the business is planning to make the money, how the business is trying to make money, and its operation, what the business wants to do. So that's the executive summary. Do you understand the executive summary? The next one is the elevator pitch. You know what an elevator is, right? It takes us up, right? So anyone that wants to deal with our business will think about the forward. So am I going to go into a business? Am I going to invest in a business that does not have the potential to grow? Because the elevator will take you further. Yes or no? So whoever wants to deal with whatever stakeholders we have or whoever we have as investors, the first thing we think about is the potential for growth of that business. Is this business a business that can grow eventually? If not, what's the point investing in it? So for elevator pitch I wrote, this is the part where the business idea will be passed on across to different stakeholders, such as investors, banks, and so on. Here, the business idea will tell us if the business is going to be able to achieve it or not. Your business idea, your know-how, what you have put together that you want to sell to customers. Are these things that you want to sell to customers what customers really want to buy? Are these things going to ensure that this business grow over time? So that is what elevator pitch is about. It's part of the business plan. Is it clear, please? The third one, the business and its objectives. So there's a business, here we have a business. What is our objective? What do we aim at achieving toward over a long period of time? So with our business plan, we would know what our achievements or what our objectives are. Do we want to make profit based on what we have on ground, or are we thinking about survival or expansion? These are business objectives. We talked about business objectives before now. We have survival, we have social responsibility, we have business growth, we have, what else do we have? We have employee welfare. These are business objectives. So which one do you think about? Which one are you trying to explain or express to your stakeholders? So that is part of the plan. So without a business plan, stating the objective of the business, it might be difficult for investors to invest in such business. Do you get the point here, please? So that's the third one. The fourth one is the business opportunity. And when I talk about business opportunity, it is also important for the business to state what it's trying to sell, as this may encourage stakeholders. What are you trying to sell? Well, you know, we talked about the SWOT analysis, the strengths, the weakness, the opportunity, and the threats in the market. So what are the opportunities on the market? What are you trying to sell? So those things that you are trying to sell to the business will ensure that investors can actually buy into the idea. So the kind of product you want to sell, is it interesting or not interesting? If it's interesting, then that means there's a market for it. But if it is not interesting, that means there's no market for it. You might not be able to make revenue. And if you're not making revenue, then what's the point investing? So what the business is trying to sell, it's also important because that allows the business to make revenue or not. Do you understand business opportunity here?
Yes.
And the next one, owners background. Who are the owners of the business? Who are the entrepreneurs? We need interest. We need to know them. Do they have success story before now? What have they achieved over time? Because if they don't have a success story, how are we sure that if we invest in them, they're going to give us another success? Because they don't have a success story. So we need to know, we need to monitor, we need to check their background in terms of their career path, what their success story was. So this has to be stated in the business plan. So if you are seeing, if a bank wants to give you a loan, the bank will check those that are in charge. Are they successful people? If they are, then we are convinced we can give them a loan. Do we understand?
Yes.
Any question about this? There are still other notes. We still have the market, the personnel, which we're going to talk after now. Thank you.